I remember when I was still living in the Bay Area, and I pulled up to a parking lot of a grocery store known as Sprouts. I don't know if they got them nationwide or even, I don't think internationally, but we had a place called Sprouts. It is in between, I don't know, a Walmart and a Whole Foods, right? Somewhere in the middle of those two. Anyway, I see a dude walk out who obviously works at the store. He had the little shirt on and everything. And he walks up to this big old AMG, big old Mercedes Benz, big body. You understand me? Brand new joint too. It wasn't no, sometimes when they get the Mercedes, it's a 2003 or something like that. At the time, I think it was around 2022, 2021, and it was matching the year. So it was a brand new car. And it was interesting to me how this dude who I had seen a multitude of times at the grocery store, all times of the day, he's working at Sprouts, a grocery store that pays no more than $22 an hour, which probably sounds crazy, but again, California prices. So at maybe like a manager sort of job, $22, $25 at best an hour. And yet he is driving this big body. Now, obviously, this is an assumption as far as, maybe he has another job where he works as, I don't know, a real estate agent, a drug dealer. I don't know, right? But what I do know is that with that check, he has this car. Now, unfortunately, this is not a rare occurrence. This is not something I've never seen before. Matter of fact, sometimes when you drive through some of the more impoverished areas, you may find Mercedes, Audis, Teslas. I'm talking about like the S's and the Y's, those type of Teslas. And for me, I'm the type of dude who thinks to myself, okay, so you're living in damn near Section 8 housing, maybe the projects, whatever it may look like, or at least a lower income household. And your car is costing the price of, well, not in Cali, but in some places, a price of a startup home, right? The priorities there are off. The priorities are off. Now, I understand that we're in a place where, Bidenomics has not been so, how do I say, has not been so friendly on our economy. Bidenomics has caused an absolute shit show of an economy. And many people are struggling to make two ends meet. I understand this completely. I get it. However, I would be lying if I said that there was no personal reasons as to why many people find themselves without any money at the end of the month, or even less than no money at the end of each month. And I know this because before Bidenomics, when we had a flourishing economy, there seemed to be almost the same amount of people who were struggling financially. And before that, we had, the era of Obama, which, depending on where you stand, was maybe an okay time in comparison to where we are now. And still, you had quite a bit of the population who was going through the same tumultuous time with their finances. Now, the thing that I've noticed is, the little well-known thing, unfortunately not as known as it should be, which is financial literacy, i.e. the language of money, understanding that money does not necessarily need to be something that comes in and goes as fast as it touches down. That it is not wise to spend what you do not have on the things that you do not need in order to impress the people that you do not give a single damn about. These sorts of basic things. But unfortunately, we find ourselves at a scale level, at mass, where you have individuals who are willing to prioritize looking a certain way or being perceived in a certain way as opposed to actually stacking up or getting to the bag. And, it's always blown my mind how individuals such as Elon Musk, who his collective wealth, though almost all of it is tied up in his companies, but nevertheless, this man is almost worth $500 billion, which we've never seen in human history, right? It is a feat never seen before. And this is a guy who, I know he came out of PayPal. I actually lived like 10 minutes away from PayPal. My last apartment in the Bay Area was like 10 minutes out the way. So he leaves PayPal, or at least PayPal is acquired. He gets his 190 million or whatever, and gives every single penny is given to his next two companies, which are Tesla and SpaceX, which everybody said were going to be terrible ideas, terrible investments. He should never do it. It is a foolish decision on his part, right? But he makes an investment and he sleeps on his buddy's couch. Now, the reason I bring Elon up in this conversation is because Elon is somebody who I've almost never heard bragging about money or even trying to make some sort of external projection to show he has money. And I'm talking about it in the typical ways, right? Some people may say, well, he bought, Twitter for 40 million and it was only worth 20 million. Yeah. But he wasn't doing it as a money flex or a money play. He wasn't on the gram, taking a picture of him at X to say, look at how much money I have. And if anybody could flex their money, it's that guy. And this is a common trend when you see a multitude of these, multi-billionaires who at least are self-made, or got some startup money and built a larger company, right? The ones who have their hands in the dirt. When you start to have second, third generation money who does nothing with it, usually they're the flexers and they're the ones who run the bag all the way into the ground, right? But when you have the Elon Musk of the world, you have guys who do not need to show their wealth, and yet they have more than any human being could fathom. I mean, you could take every rapper that has ever existed, all of their money combined would not be, I believe, half of what Elon currently has as his net worth. Not half. And yet rappers make a career out of bragging, out of literally telling you how broke you are and how much richer they are than you, right? Which is a very strange flex. It's like, you are my audience member and I'm going to continuously remind you that I'm better than you, I'm richer than you, I'm going to take your girl. It's a very, very strange, it's a toxic relationship that, rappers have with their audience. But I digress. The point being, there has to come a point where we stop blaming the system. And when I say the system, I mean whatever the system may be. Inequity, injustice, white supremacy, racism, sexism, whatever construct, the patriarchy. There's a point where we have to start introspecting and saying, okay, what am I actually doing with what I have, including my gifts, my talents, my skills, my abilities, etc. And if I'm saying nothing and I'm not willing to change that, then I have to take accountability that this is then the hand that I'm dealt. If I'm putting my life into somebody else's hands, my paycheck, my whatever it is into somebody else's hands and doing nothing else to build it, to progress, if I'm not learning, if I'm not, acquiring new skills, whatever it may be, then I get this outcome and this is going to be how much money I settle for or the opportunities that I settle for, right? When I was leaving a corporate environment, it was not an easy decision, but I'm the type of guy, when I have that insatiable aspect of me, I can't do it anymore. Even though financially, I'll be honest, I had not set myself up the absolute best way. And I even had to make a decision to say, you know what, I got to move back to the folks, in a few months and just let me build out what I'm here to build out. And yeah, it took some time, but eventually I got to a place where it's like, okay, I'm not only stable, but now I'm making enough to really get things going. And I know not everybody has that opportunity. Some people ain't got folks. Some people ain't got no family, ain't got no whatever. And this isn't even a message about that necessarily, but to say sometimes we have to take 3 or 4 steps back in order to springboard forward. That new TV that goes in the house. I saw Black Friday. Folks are outside on Black Friday. I'm thinking everybody's broke. Everybody's talking about they ain't got no money, but they got some Black Friday money. Folks are going into stores and buying all kinds of stuff. You understand me? It's not to say you shouldn't buy. I'm just saying when we're in a place where we're calling ourselves broke or, I don't have enough, I can't take care of X, Y, and Z, then it should be evident to us that the last thing we need to do is buy some shit that we don't need. That's the last thing that has to happen. And it's not easy to take personal accountability. It's much easier to blame somebody else for the plight of our lives, but it is going to be necessary if we're going to progress in life. If we want to really genuinely make something more than just this measly little paycheck, otherwise we're putting that responsibility on another human being. You got to make sure I'm okay. You got to make sure I'm okay. And if you mess it up, then it's your fault. Nothing is my fault. It always blows my mind when people are like going off, oh, but, Starbucks is doing this or Amazon's doing that. I say, look, you got to realize this. You are working for a company that you did not build. So the reason you're able to work at this company is because somebody built it. Somebody's keeping up infrastructure. Somebody invested their entire life into this, right? And this is almost every business, whether it's a mom and pop, which I believe is like 40 or some % of the marketplace as far as employers. And then these massive corporations, which most of which started as a mom and pop somewhere. Even Walmart was just a little discount store in the middle of Arkansas, right? So even if you are in that type of structure, somebody invested into that and built this thing up. And so if that didn't exist, then you wouldn't have a job to complain about to begin with, or maybe you would find another job which has the exact same story. And so maybe instead of, continuously finding gripes with this, how about we look and reflect and say, okay, what gifts, skills, talents, abilities may I have to do something different? I love using the story of Marie Callender and how, she was working in this little diner that was on its way out. It was basically bankrupted, at this point. And she said to the owner, let me try some. I would love to bring in one of my pies and see if it sells. And sure enough, she came in, handful of customers walk in, they buy a slice of the pie. Few of them come back the same day. They say, "Do you got more of that pie?" The pie runs out the first day. Next day, they're demanding, "Is it possible for us to get, like a whole pie?" And so she makes a bunch of them in her home kitchen, brings them. Not too long after that, the owner says, "You know what? From now on, we're just going to sell these damn pies because these pies are selling more than anything else that I have on my menu." And sure enough, they become this massive pie distributor known for these Marie pies. And long story short, it becomes a multi-$100 million operation that now sells in multiple stores, etc. Now, whether you're a fan of it or not, that ain't part of the story. What I'm getting to is there's a woman who used a skill that she had, which would seem so rudimentary, seem so basic to some people, the baking of a pie. And she was able to capitalize on that even in an environment where she might have felt stuck. Fuck, my company's about to close. I have no this. What am I going to do with myself? Most people would just, they'll blame their government, blame the owner. How could you? It's your fault. But instead, she took personal accountability and she did something about it. And I feel like we're in this age right now where there's so many people who are so resentful off of life that young people are saturated with information that is inundating them with this helpless narrative of you're cooked, you're done, you're finished. We have this far left ideology of wokeness where people are just given over to their greatest fears as opposed to their power. And so I believe it is necessary to speak to these things. And that was one of my greatest intentions stepping into 2025 is to step boldly into, man, we got to take charge of our own lives. We got to take full authority over our own lives in every aspect that we can. If I get an outcome, it's back on me. That's how I move. And I'm not special. But I understand that that's how I gain my power. And I give my power away when I blame somebody else. If I blame my woman for the outcomes that I'm getting, that's me. I'm the one who has to deal with the consequences. I'm the one who has to put up with whatever happens. And I always say, Eric Thomas says, at least get something for your pain. At least get something for it. And the only way you're going to get something is when you are able to look in the mirror, to introspect, to say, what can I do different? Oh, but the economy, but you don't understand, but you don't know. See, you're just privileged, but you're a coon. Look, you can go all day until you're blue in the damn face. The truth is still going to be the truth. Is that if you do not take responsibility, accountability for your own life, nobody else will, and you will get miserable results. Simple as that. If you do not start to adjust areas of your life, okay, finances, learn about finances. How can I be financially literate? How can I know how to balance a budget, if not, balance a spreadsheet? How do I start to understand how assets work and to put some money somewhere? There are people who worked as janitors their whole lives who retired with millions in a bank because of how they strategize with their money. And there are people who made multis of millions throughout their life in even short amount of years, and they lost everything quick. Mike Tyson stories, quick. 700, 300, 500 million, gone. End up in debt like Skamala. $1.5 billion, almost $2 billion, they say, gone. 20 million in debt. The lack of financial savvy and personal responsibility is going to be the detriment of most people. We're stepping in an age right now where you're going to have opportunities afforded to you due to the new administration. Opportunities. I did not say a handout. A handout ain't going to do a damn thing for a man who does not know how to fish. A damn thing. You're going to take that fish, you're going to consume it today, you're going to come back tomorrow. Can I have some more, please? Can I have some more? No, you can't have ain't no damn more. You got to go and get it. So there's going to be opportunities afforded to us, but are you going to take advantage? There's going to be monies afforded to you, as there is in every administration, even the bunky bum ones like the last one we just came out of with Biden. there's going to be opportunities for you to get some money, to get some grants, to put some, to get some real estate going, whatever it is, there's money set aside. I heard that hundreds of millions of dollars go untouched year after year, untouched, because nobody is coming to claim it. Instead, they're too busy complaining about what they don't have. They're too busy looking at what's not there. They're too busy being ungrateful for the opportunities afforded to them already. They're too busy blaming every damn body else except for looking in the mirror. Like, I'm not going to let that be me. If I'm the only one, then so be it. Me and a handful. As far as me and my household, I'll be damned. I'll be damned going through life as a damn victim. Oh, but look at the white, but the white man has not made it fair for me, and it's an injustice. I'm going to be outside protesting when I could be in here. Are you kidding me? I get to open my mouth, use my gift. No diddy. I get to use my gift and make money off of that? I get to do what I would do for free and make money off of that? Are you stupid? Why would I be outside protesting what? Standing in the damn street for no reason. Running up nothing. Oh man, maybe somebody's gonna give me a handout if I stand out here for long enough. Man, I'll be damned. They ain't waiting for a damn reparation for now. Nothing. Oh, but you were born in Africa. Yeah, I could be asking the colonizers who were there in 1980. Y'all need to give me my reparation. I don't need a damn from you. I am here. I am a free man. I'm going to build as a free man. As simple as that, period.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's night. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light.